Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. Okay, so it is March 11th, and I want to do a reading today on Jim Jordan. For those of you who watch my channel regularly, you know that when I start pulling out my quartz that's this size, my smoky quartz, I'm diving into some murky waters. I've never done a reading on Jim Jordan before, but the thing is more and more people are really letting their stories be known about what went on when he was coaching wrestling. And I have to tell you, I don't know anything about him. In fact, I'm not even quite sure what state he comes from. But I want to take a look because lately it seems that whenever anybody's asked him about it or he talks about it, it's like they're lying, I'm not guilty of anything, and then he runs away and closes the door. Which, of course, as you and I all know, that is absolutely the behavior of an innocent person. Just saying. And before I do that, if for those of you who perhaps may not have heard, this was news that was released over the weekend, in fact. So, you know how the Republicans have that sort of annual convention called CPAC, where they all conglomerate and they bang on their chests and talk about how brilliant they are and, how the liberals are trying to destroy the world by, I don't know, maybe letting women choose what they want to do or not do with their body. Or, maybe by helping those who are less fortunate and giving them a bit of a hand up so that they too can move forward. Those horrible things that liberals keep trying to get done, like actually lower taxes for the middle class. Okay, facetiousness aside. So they had this CPAC meeting a week or two ago. And over the weekend, somebody tested positive for the coronavirus. Don't laugh, okay? It will bring bad karma. But it is karma. It really is karma. Many Republican officials were in attendance, and that includes your president and vice president. Perhaps that may be what it takes for them to get serious about this already. But don't laugh, because it will bring bad karma on you. You don't need that. Wow, there's a cat around here who has a lot to say. I'm thinking that's probably Jerry. Sorry if your cats at home are meowing or your dogs are barking. Okay, Jim Jordan. Let's see what there is to see about him, shall we? Come on down. Jim Jordan legal. Jim Jordan legal. Jim Jordan legal. It's so despicable. Like, already, this has been going on for a while now. It would have been so much easier if he had just told the truth. Which boils down to, yes, I knew about it, but yes, I'm a yellow-bellied coward and didn't want to say or do anything about it. But now, he just sounds like a serial liar. And it is damaging and diminishing whatever reputation he did have And I don't know that he had one, and I frankly don't know how good it was. Certainly, somewhere along the line, he decided that he looked much cooler without a jacket on. I digress. Jim Jordan. Tell me about Jim Jordan. Yeah, he's just trying really, really hard to get away with this. He keeps trying to keep it, oh my goodness, he keeps trying to keep it in shadow. He wants these secrets maintained. He is reaching out and doing what he can to sort of try to get people, frankly, to just shut up. That's not working so well for him. And in some ways, he is starting to understand that the writing is on the wall and that literally this charade is going to come to an end. And he realizes that when that happens, he is going to be ostracized, he is going to be shunned, and he is going to be left out in the cold because someone who knows about that kind of sexual predator and does nothing is as bad as, okay? As bad as. He really thinks that if he just keeps up this brave face, that he is going to be able to ride this out. So that's not going to happen. But he really is taking his cues from Trump because, if there's one thing he has learned, it is that if you're telling a lie and you keep saying it over and over and over again, and you don't stop saying it, people start to believe the lie. Even if they know it's a lie. With enough repetition, people start to think maybe they're wrong. Don't believe what you see, believe what I say. It's that kind of an attitude. He learned that from Trump. I'm not saying he was white as the driven snow before he wasn't, but that is sort of a strategy that Trump has taught people like him can work. And he's watched it for 3.5 years work. So that continues to be his strategy. The problem is he knows he did wrong. And he knows he's in the wrong. And he knows that because of his inaction, people's lives were really impacted and affected. Trump does not have that empathy. He doesn't have that compassion. So he actually believes he did nothing wrong when he says he did nothing wrong, because he actually is completely incapable of understanding that what he did is wrong, because that's, what happens when you go through your life without a moral compass, and the only thing that you look at or focus on or think about is your own selfish desires. So he's trying to mimic somebody, but he doesn't actually have the same emotional makeup in order to do it effectively, if you will. And that is why he keeps running away and slamming doors, because you can tell he's lying. He knows he's lying. The people standing there with a microphone know he's lying. And eventually he just, turns and runs. So, and don't kid yourself, he's trying everything he can. I mean, we have heard that he has already reached out He reached out to the brother of one of the wrestlers. I believe it was sometimes over the summer, if I remember the story correctly, virtually crying and begging this guy to basically denounce his brother, say his brother was lying, but Jim Jordan was telling the truth, which of course the brother then got up and testified that that was what Jim Jordan did and said and wanted. But he keeps trying. And, you know, I don't think it's going to work for him. I really don't. There's going to be illumination, right? There's going to be, I don't know if it's more people, but more facts, more full-bodied, for example, more details. But as things can, it's kind of like a slow-moving snowball. It's going to continue to gather and pick up momentum and keep on rolling and getting bigger and bigger and bigger until it's no longer controllable. And his reputation is going to be damaged beyond repair. And the only one who is going to be there, who's still going to tell him he's fine and he did nothing wrong, is, you know, this guy. Because, of course, he doesn't think anything is wrong with what he did, because then he would have to admit that not only has he that he has done worse than that, because he wasn't just witnessing it and staying silent. He was actually allegedly behaving in that conduct, behaving in that manner. So this is really interesting. We have the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. Makes me wonder if there's another queen floating around somewhere. I'm not sure what this means, except, you know what, I actually think it has to do with sort of like the Me Too movement, that sort of awareness that what people got away with before, they're not getting away with now. And in fact, there is a reckoning coming. There surely is a reckoning. You have the Ace of Swords sitting here. And so at some point, in some way, there is going to be punishment handed out. Now, maybe he's going to lose his seat. Maybe his constituents are finally going to vote him out. Maybe he's going to privately get sued. I don't know. Is that possible? Can you sue somebody for damages? I don't know. But the law is going to come after him, and he is going to discover that it is really not that pleasant a place. And that for all of his bravado and his talk, and I mean, when he opens his mouth, it is like it's like somebody put a bunch of stuff in a blender and then forgot to put the lid on the blender, but turned it up to like frappe or something, right? And he opens his mouth and just stuff spews. And he actually believes that if he talks fast enough, even if what he's saying is absolute nonsense, people will just kind of become sort of numb to the word garbage and kind of really not question him. And he's going to continue that strategy, but you know what? It is really not going to work. Now, I understand that there was some sort of a review done. And when he is asked, he says, I was not named in that review, therefore I am innocent. But the truth of the matter is, none of the coaches were named in that review. So that doesn't exonerate him at all, but he likes to think it does. He's starting to get really, really worried. There's a lot of anxiety with him now because more and more of the truth is coming out, and more, he's not able to defend it. More and more people believe that he was in the wrong, that he did something wrong, that the wrestlers are right. People believe them, as well they should. And so this is going to continue to unfold. And if he is not out of, if he's not somehow removed before the election, I suspect he will be removed by the next election. And I'm pretty sure he is a House representative as opposed to a senator. I'm pretty sure I have that right. But his constituents at some point are just going to be sick and tired of him and get rid of him if something else does not intervene in the meantime and force the situation. But, he's a Republican, and his Republican cronies stand behind him like a brick wall, because even if they are disgusted, their president, need I say more? So they can't find fault anywhere, because if they do, it doesn't reflect well on their commander-in-chief. There is going to be a price demanded. And emotionally, he's not going to handle it well. He's really not. I mean, he's overwrought already. And as the anxiety ratchets up and as everything starts tightening around him, you're going to see sort of a little bit more volatility. He's going to start getting really aggressive with reporters who ask him a question because he only has one answer, and it's the lie. You have the law, you have the government, you have justice. A price will be paid. He basically formed an alliance to the wrong person. He stood up for the person who should not have been protected, and did not stand up for the young men in his care who frankly should have been protected. Okay, so I'm going to do one more. This is going to be a bit of a quick one, but I want to take a look. Speaking of those sort of hell-bent Republicans who really don't mind making complete asses of themselves, I want to take a look at Mark Meadows, the new chief of staff. So the writing was on the wall as far as Mulvaney went. Apparently he's tootling off to be some special envoy to Ireland because they need to get him out of Dodge, right? They want him gone so that he is not going to get badgered and peppered by reporters, and frankly that he's also not available easily should any investigations start. Because he's already proven that he sort of has flappy lips, right? And he says things almost without understanding the consequences because he's too cocky to understand that, that doesn't sound right. That's not going to work to his advantage. He really should have shut up. But so they don't want him anywhere where he can easily talk. And so Northern Ireland sounds great. Sorry, any of my viewers in Northern Ireland, I'm sorry. It's not even my country, but on behalf of the United States, I am sorry. You're going to get him. So let's look at Mark Meadows, because Mark Meadows has proven time and again that he will literally lay down in mud so Trump can walk over him and not get his shoes dirty. He really has. And so he is all in with Trump. He is not going to try to rein him in. He is going to encourage more of this bombastic attitude from Trump. But this is what slays me. He is just another one who has taken a position that has not worked out well for any of his any of the people in that position before him. And somehow he has been convinced, or has convinced himself, that he's going to be the one to stay the course. He is going to be the one who doesn't get squished like a bug. He is the one who is magically going to stay on Trump's good side. What is that? A fool born every minute? Just saying, just saying. Let's take a look at Mark Meadows. I don't want this to go on too long, but I do want to take a look at how that's going to turn out for good old Mark. So, come on down. Let's take a look. So, I have a question, and it is Mark Meadows, Chief of Staff. Mark Meadows, Chief of Staff. Mark Meadows, Chief of Staff. Oh yeah, he has big expectations, boy. He thinks that he is going to be the one who makes this all work. He's going to be the one who can move the Republican agenda forward. He believes that he is the one to help Trump move forward. He thinks that he is the one who can deliver the road or the map to winning the next election. And okay, a lot of the people who hang around Trump live in that bubble, and he is no exception. There is also something to do with money. I don't know if he wanted the job, so it's not as if he was sort of being pushed into or maneuvered into that job. From what I understand, he really lobbied for that job and that position. In some ways, he sees it really as like a pinnacle of success, a crowning glory, a really powerful role. And it is, unless you're number 5, right? So, but I get the feeling that there's something connected to money that's going to surface about him that is not going to look quite so good, okay? And now I'm not sure, because I'm not quite clear on this. Is he going to need to go through the nomination process? Is he going to actually get vetted? I don't know, but in either way, there's going to be some stuff that comes out. But the Republicans are just going to roll. Wow, look at that. You've got the Ace of Pentacles followed by the Ten of Pentacles. There's like some money stuff going on. Even if it comes out, the Republicans are just going to roll. They're just going to roll them right into the position. Unfortunately, this appears to be the result of the position. Not only is his little ivory tower going to crash, but like Mulvaney, he actually is going to end up doing or saying something that destabilizes the rocky tower that already exists, known as Trump Tower, right? The tower that Trump presides in. And Trump's tower, as we know, it is coming down brick by brick, okay? It's cracking, it's cracking, it's cracking, and then it's just going to collapse. But he's actually going to do something that helps that along. So he's also not going to be the one who is successful in this endeavor. He knows secrets, and that's part of the reason that he is in this job. His boss believes that he is a good little soldier, that he will keep things close to his vest, and that he will keep secret that which needs to be kept secret. And he also believes that Meadows is just the guy to do the dirty work. He really is, okay? It's interesting because as you have this succession of chiefs of staff, the caliber of the person kind of keeps going down a level and another level and another level. He has so much hope. He really believes that he's the guy, he's the man, he's going to deliver. He's not. He's not. I don't even know at this point if he's actually going to make it to the next election. I'm not even sure. It doesn't sort of feel like it. Somehow it feels like this thing is going to implode on him sooner rather than later. And if it implodes and it is too close to the election, or, people are telling Trump, you cannot get rid of this guy, you are going to see his role completely diminished, and you're going to see him retreat and go quiet. Yeah, he doesn't have what it takes to do this successfully. He's not cut out for this. He doesn't, frankly, have the smarts for it, and he doesn't have the right personality. He doesn't have the right disposition, and this is going to come to an end for him, and all because he believed that he was the hope and the promise that his boss wanted. And he's not even smart enough to understand that he was wanted and desired because he was viewed as someone who would do the dirty work, someone who would lie down in the mud so Trump could walk over his back and not get his shoes dirty. So, oh my goodness, we have cats meowing all over the place here. So, there we have Jim and Mark. So, that's what I know for now. I hope you've enjoyed this. Remember, don't laugh about the Republicans at CPAC. Even a little. Not good. Okay, until next time, take care. Be well. We'll see you really soon. Bye-bye.